Hi, Shalom, Shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well, that teach well, while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. Also, I want to say Shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, service scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, and your children as well. Shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, is going to be building off of this video that I got from the brother Shamak page. Shalom to the brother. And as you can see, it's going to be, building off of this video right here where you basically had this Drake Champ episode that occurred where you had this actor, right? I guess they said his name was Noel, Gugliemi, something to that extent, the guy's name. But they were actually talking about the MOTB microchip, and things like that. And we know that ultimately the reason that this is the topic of discussion among so many people is because we're ultimately living in that time, man, where the Lord is about to bring this prophecy to pass. That's why it's no coincidence that you got so many people talking about, the microchip, man, you see, because ultimately the Lord controls the minds of the people, man. You see, it tells us that men's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So the Lord put the spirit on people to speak on certain things, man. And like I said, this guy basically broke it down of what's coming, man, because that's exactly what's coming, the MOTB microchip, right? So we're going to get into the video and we're going to listen to what it is he's saying. And I'll grab a few precepts and Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying to you brothers and you few sisters that may come across it. But with that being said, fair use. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use.
See, and you get the chip inside of you. Like Mark of the Beast. And what's going to happen is when they got, so that's headed towards that. Right. So the chip, it's to condition your mind. So it'd be like, oh, we've always been tapping. We've always been using cryptocurrency.
Right. And you hear what it is he's saying, and that's exactly what they're doing. That process is called gradualism, right? And I'm actually looking up that word, gradualism, on the AI overview on Google, and it says a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. So like the guy was just saying in the video, that's what these devils are doing. They're conditioning people's minds to basically accept anything that they bring about, especially when it's involving technology, because we know how these people are, man. Everybody want to have the best new thing and all of that different type of stuff. Everybody want to be deemed as somebody, important in this society. So, hey, they're gradually over time conforming these people's minds to accept this RFID microchip when it comes. And like I said, we see that through the payment methods because, back in the 80s and the 90s, majority of everybody were using cash. Now people are using credit cards. Now it didn't evolve to the point now where you don't even have to use a credit card. You can literally just scan your phone. You see, but like I said, all of this is gradually preparing people's minds for what's to come, which is going to be the RFID microchip. And that's why you're going to have so many people that are going to just take it, because like I said, they've already been conditioned in their mind to just accept whatever these devils come with, man. You see, but as it tells us right here, I'm going to grab this 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. And I'm going to read it in the Good News translation, the GNT. And it says, in order to keep Satan, who is Satan? That's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan on the left-hand side. It says, in order to keep Satan from getting the upper hand over us, right, meaning an advantage, right, for we know what his plans are. And guess what? We know what this man's plans are, you see, because the Lord have revealed these things unto us, man. As it tells you in Amos 3 and 7, how surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealed it to seekers unto the servants, the prophets, man. You see, so we know what ultimately this man's agenda is. We know that he's going to bring in this RFID microchip, man. You see, we know these things. We know his prophecy. We know it's going to happen. So guess what? We're not ignorant of these things, you see. And we ultimately know the way that this man is moving to try to bring it in, you see. But yeah, I'm going to get back into the video.
Always been, doing it this way. So when you get the chip, you ain't gonna think nothing of it because you won't be like, nah, they've always been doing it similar to this, right? So the chip, when they put it inside of you, is gonna be activated as your credit card. So long story short, now you could just, if they put it in your forehead or your wrist, now you could just slide your arm or slide your head, whatever they decide to put it in. And they're going to say, oh, there's all these good things about it. And this is where they manipulate / trick you / deceive you. They're going to say, you know why the chip is good? Because now no one can come up to you and just rob you and take your cash. You know why the chip is good? Because if you get kidnapped, I can find you and locate you with the chip. They're going to tell you all these great things, but here's the part that they don't tell you.
Right. And you hear what it is he's saying, and that's absolutely what this devil's going to do, right? That's why, as it tells us right here, I got to grab that precept. This is Psalm chapter 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth was smoother than butter, right? But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords. That's talking about this devil, man. Because like the guy just said in the video, that's exactly what Esau is going to do. He's going to make this thing appear like the best thing in the world to the people, man. And that's why so many people that are simple, they're going to take it. You see, Lord's willing, we don't take it, you see, because ultimately, only people that are going to make it through this hour of testing is going to be the elect of the nation of Israel. And that's what we pray and hope we're a part of, Abaratazah, that we make it through this hour of testing when this thing comes. Because that's why it's called the hour of temptation, man, because so many people are going to be tempted to take this thing because, you know, you're not going to be able to participate in society. You're not going to be able to do all of the things that people are doing now. Everybody's lives are about to change real soon. That's why to get through this time, you're going to need Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Right. But yeah, like I said, this devil is going to, you know, make it, seem as though it's convenient in people's lives to receive this thing. You see, he's going to tell them, you know, that it's best for them, you know, ultimately, you know, like the guy was saying in the video, you know, you can basically not get robbed. People can't steal your information. You don't have to worry about scammers. You see, oh, yeah, Esau going to dress this thing up real nice. You see, this man's the devil. He's going to make it appear as it's something that it's not. Right. Ultimately, to deceive the people, because those who take it, you are deceived. And if you take it, you're going to die, man. You see, over here in America, Babylon the Great, those that receive this charagma, hey, you're going to take part in that second death, man. You see, that's what's going to come for the people that take this charagma, you know. So that's why we ultimately want to make it through this hour of testing when this thing comes. Because like I said, this thing is around the corner, man. Why you think you got the UK over there now? They're implementing digital IDs, man, telling people that you can't even work if you don't have a digital ID. And we know that same system is about to come to America as well, and right along with the rest of the world. Everybody is jumping on board with this system, man, because like it says, this is going to come upon all the world to try them that dwell therein, man. You see, so this is going to be a worldwide thing, and this is what we ultimately see being ushered in. You see, gradually, right, in increments, right, but eventually this is what it all, you know, leads up to, man, the implementation of the MOTB, right, as it tells us right here. I'm gonna grab Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. It says, for the vision, which are the prophecies, the MOTB is a major part of prophecy, man, is yet for an appointed time. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, right, it may look like it's taking its time, because a lot of people in their minds, they don't believe that this is actually going to happen. They don't believe that the US dollar is going to, you know, not be worth anything real soon, that it's going to crash, and that they're going to bring in a chip the size of a grain of rice, and that you won't be able to buy and sell without this device. People don't believe that when you tell them these things, man. Right. But it says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. This thing is coming, man. You see, and like I said, that's why the Lord has the spirit on these people, everybody to talk about it, even people that are not in the faith. You even got them talking about the MOTB. That's because, like I said, it's coming, man, real soon. It's just a matter of time. You see, the Lord can put the spirit on these devils and they implement this system tomorrow, man. You see, that's just how fast things are moving, you know. But yeah, we're going to get back into the video.
What the government says, all they got to do is simply turn that chip off, and now your credit card don't work, and now you can't even go to Carl's Jr. and get a cheeseburger. Now you can't even go get tacos or eat. And now, in order for that chip to be turned back on / activated, you got to be under control and the mercy of the government and what they tell you to do to be able to even shop for food or whatever else is that you want to get. And so all that is leading towards that, man. So I tell people you're soon enough going to be backed up into having to make the decision of accept or don't accept. But when it comes down to it, and people always, and that's how they control you. And people always say, oh, they got you control on your phone. No, they don't. Because I can take this phone, I can throw it in a river, and you no longer got anything on me physically. But once they put that in you physically, now you're under control, because that's your credit card, that's your currency, that's your money, that's your whole damn life right there. Right. And again, a lot of
Right. And you hear what it is Jake saying, and he's absolutely right, man. Once you take that in, you know, hey, these devils fully own you, man. You're fully under the beast, man. You see, this devil, he's basically your God, man. That's what you're basically doing. If you take this man's charagma, you're making this man Esau Edom Lord over you, man, for you Israelites that receive this man's device. Right. That's why the ultimate punishment that's going to come for taking it is going to be death, man. You see, by thermonuclear fire, man, right along with the laser beams of the chariots, because that's ultimately what's going to be the judgment of those that take it, right? So I'm actually grab this precept, Revelations 13-16, right? And he calls it all. Who is that he? That's talking about the elite banking families, man. You see these devils that ultimately want to establish their new world order, that want to establish their satanic, you know, totalitarian world on the earth, man. You see, that want to have complete control over mankind, but mainly over you Israelites, because that's who they really want to control, the people of the Lord, right? It says, and he calls it all, right? Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, right? So that means it doesn't matter what position you're in life. It doesn't matter if you're free. It doesn't matter if you're incarcerated. It doesn't matter if you have money. It doesn't matter if you're poor. You see, everybody's going to be on the same playing field, man, right? It says to receive a mark, which that word goes into charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he or she that had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name, you see? And ultimately, like I said, that's how they're going to get a lot of people to take it right there. That's why you're going to need the Lord to make it through these times, man, when this thing comes. Because guess what? A lot of people, man, these people don't know how to go without buying and selling. I mean, buying and selling is how everybody lives their day-to-day lives. So just imagine, you know, that cutting off for you. Like I said, it's going to be real tempestuous for people, man. That's why this is called the hour of temptation, you know. But like I said, the Lord's elect are going to make it through it. You see, the Lord is going to be with them. He's going to give them the escape route to ultimately overcome this time when this thing gets mandated real soon, right? And I'm going to grab that precept too. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience going into suffering, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? When this devil's going to make it mandatory that you got to take an implantable device in order to buy and sell, which shall come upon all the world to try them, meaning to test, that dwell upon the earth. And that's what we want the Lord to do for us. You see, we want the Lord to have the spirit on us to where we're able to overcome this hour of temptation. You see, that we don't bow down to this devil and take his charagma. Because like I said, if you take this device, your ass going to die, man. You see, no better way of saying it. You're going to be destroyed, right? Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man, right, or woman, worship the beast and his image, right, and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, meaning his righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is our Lord Yahushua, man. So like I said, those that take this device, you're going to take part in that second death, man. You see, when America gets ultimately, you know, destroyed by 200 million nuclear warheads and the laser beams from the chariots, the so-called UFOs that are going to return in the midst of all of these things happening, guess what? You people are going to ultimately take part in that if you take this man's charagma, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying, just something quick through the spirit. But, yeah, we are in those times, man. You see, this MOTB is around the corner, man. You know, till the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.